back, everybody. I'm laughing because we're having a good time over here prior to recording. Let's just put it this way. Stuff is not right out here in the world. But what is right is that we're back to record another episode. We know that we left you for a while. While we were gone, it was Sam's birthday. So happy belated birthday to Sam. Sam gave us permission to not do the podcast. This is why we didn't do it. And that was his birthday gift from us. So we are back.
Thank you.
You're welcome, Sam. You're welcome.
The day after the Masters, I say.
Yep. You said,
Brandon, you do not need to talk about golf.
You said it.
You're welcome.
You said it, and I said, Sam, I respect that, and this is what I can do to make you happy on your birthday. I got you, my brother, and that's what we did. But we are here to talk sports again, and we got the NFL draft right around the corner, which we are very, very excited about. I know we are also very excited about the NBA playoffs, and by very excited, I mean I've watched maybe one full game and half of another. So we'll get to that. Harrison just shook his head at me. For those that can't see
tell us what's been happening in the NBA.
I got you guys.
I got the highlights. I understand what's going on. MLB, we got some power rankings for the first time this year. Super happy about that. And as Sam mentioned, we got Rory and Do You Care, but also we got Ovi. And the first person, I will give credit to this. I don't know if he's still his favorite player, but there was somebody on this podcast that used to champion Ovi a long time before I even know who the hell he was and would talk about him so highly, and that was Harrison. So I will give kudos to you. I don't know if you still champion him, but
yeah,
he's there.
I
didn't like that.
I'm not gonna take credit for like a generational talent that everyone should have known about.
I didn't.
I'll take it if you give it to me.
I will, because I wasn't into or wasn't privy to anything in hockey, and you kind of were just like, you know what? This is the guy. And I was just like, okay, I don't listen to Harrison. Whatever. He's not the guy. And sure enough, Ovi is the guy. But we'll get to that. Let's get right into the NFL draft. As I mentioned, we are 1 week away from round one. Or actually, it's Thursday, right?
Yeah.
It's this week. Sorry, guys. All off. I should remember it. It's my ex's birthday. Never forget it. It sucks. So...
It's different every year.
It's on the 25th of April. I just know it.
Okay.
Unfortunately.
That is unfortunate.
It is very unfortunate, but I know when the draft is. Any thoughts on prospects and their landing spots? Who drops, who raises in this? We got Cam Ward, who seemingly seems to be a lock at 1 for the Titans. Travis Hunter, he's probably not getting past 3. Norris Carter depends on where he goes. And then we got Shedeur, who is the biggest wild card of this all. And then we also have Ashton Genty. So amongst many others, but where do you see those guys landing, if you have an idea or thoughts where they're landing? And then also, is there anybody else that you think will jump up or have a drastic drop?
I think Cam's going 1.
Yep, I'd agree.
That. I think that's probably the worst kept secret in the league now.
For sure.
I love that. I saw somewhere he was asked his favorite running backs, and he just named Tony Pollard and who's the other one? I like him a lot. Tajay Spears.
That was probably on the stream that he was on, because he shouted out the Titans players, the O-line and the Titans players. So, yeah.
So if he's not going number 1, great job by just great misdirect there. That's awesome. But yeah, I think, especially when there's a lot of really talented players, but I think when just the fits of the different teams, especially needing quarterbacks, but not really great quarterbacks up there. You could say what you want about Cam Ward. The Patriots don't need one. Giants, is it the year? Browns, what are they going to do there? So there's a lot of intrigue. There's a lot of really good positional players here. And it seems like it's a pretty deep draft, in the trenches and other spots there. So it'll be interesting. NFL draft, Harrison's like my favorite weekend of the year, like my favorite sporting event. And I feel so disconnected this year. And I don't know if it's just being a Jets fan and just having little to no hope that we're going to do anything right, or it's just maybe the class at the top, especially the skill players aren't like that solid, but that's never really interested me either. I just don't know. Maybe I'm just getting older and I don't care as much. I don't know. I think it's just a weird, I think it's just a weirder a weird year.
No, I just think it's the latter.
But yeah, okay,
100%.
Well, great. Let's talk about the NFL draft for the next 1 minute.
I'm with you because I mean, as we'll talk about, I mean, I've already mentioned earlier when we talked about the NBA and whatnot. It's just feels weirdly weird that I know the playoffs are on and I've barely been able to catch any games. And it's not that I don't want to. I want to. And I got to watch a game last night, which we'll talk about when we get to it. But it was just like, I just felt so out of the loop. I think the Eagles drained all my sports energy out of me. And I'm just like, okay, I can just rest a little bit.
So
it's true. Right. It's true. But yeah, no. Where do you think Carter or Hunter goes 2?
I think Hunter goes 2, Carter 3.
Okay.
And then I think Will Campbell to the Patriots because they need some offensive line help. And then who was my thinking on 5? I don't know on 5. I don't know where the Jaguars go, but I think that's the 4 for me.
Okay.
But it's all over the place too, like 2 and 3, and all these teams have so many needs. Like,
yeah,
it's like they could go any direction.
I kind of love the intrigue of it because it really does seem like a crapshoot.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And I find more valuable and I feel like we do this anyway year after year, and just kind of what we think the team should do, not necessarily what they will do. Like, clearly Cleveland needs
a quarterback,
someone under center in the future, but is this the, assuming Cam's gone, right? Is this the year to do it? And is Shador or Jackson Dart or someone else worth, grabbing at 2? It doesn't seem like there's a lot of teams that want to move up. And I think probably looking at the top 5, 6 here, like these teams would probably love to move down.
Yeah.
But I don't know who's got the conviction to move up. Even if Abdul Carter is that talent that, I think we think he is and healthy, it sounds like he's going to be fine with that foot injury. But, Patriots don't need a quarterback. The Giants argue should have done this last year. Now what do we do? And they have a full room anyway, spending a lot of money at that position. Is it, do we just grab the best player available? Is that Travis? Is that Carter? Another lineman, something like that. But
yeah,
I think that's what's interesting here.
I think for me, like the 2 safest no-brainer picks are Carter and Campbell. And those are both guys on the line, and we've seen how much a line means over and over again, not just this year. Like this year was so prevalent in what the Eagles did, how much importance in the trenches has. But for me, those 2 are guys that are going to make impacts right away. And, the Titans need a quarterback, obviously, but I think Carter's the best talent in the draft, just all across the board, offensively or defensively. So I think, the Browns could pair him with Myles Garrett. I mean, that, you create kind of a wrecking crew up front. You could go with some offensive tackle help, but those 2 to me are the safe ones. It's just who shakes out and who drafts who first is how it will go for me.
I feel for the if I'm Cleveland, I know a lot of mock drafts have Travis Hunter going at 2. And I feel like it's a building block for the future. But again, you're getting a potential top wide receiver with nobody to throw him the ball, except for Kenny Pickett, right? It doesn't really make sense to me. It doesn't really add up. If I'm them, I would probably try to get Abdul Carter to pair with Myles Garrett. I think that would be, you got one unblockable guy with another guy that is potentially going to be unblockable. Obviously, he hasn't played a snap in the NFL yet, but if it's anything of what I've seen at Penn State, he's going to be perfectly fine. Like, they're not going to be able to block him. I do believe that Mason Graham will probably go to the Jags. That makes perfect sense. I hope Shador goes to the Raiders, if anything. I know there's several mocks that have running back and maybe offensive line and whatnot, but I think he's perfect to kind of go there, even though I like know that
Saints. I like him for the Saints.
I mean, that's not bad too. That's not bad. I mean, they definitely need help. Derek Carr has not been it.
Sounds like Derek Carr is like
he's hurt.
Really hurt.
Yeah,
too.
yeah,
like his shoulders
hurt.
Messed up.
So I don't know. Like it's very intriguing. I feel like once it's out of like the top 3 is when the draft's going to start this year. Like that's when we're really going to start seeing trades. And I mean, I've even heard rumors that the Giants might trade their 3 pick. Like they're shopping that. I know a lot of people would say that that is right on par with the idiotic thinking that goes there. But if they can get multiple picks and fill more of the holes that they have, I think that is not a bad idea for them. But I don't think you pass up on a potential generational talent in Abdul Carter or a Travis Hunter. Like you need
you even
help.
you look at the Giants. I mean, they already have 2 stud pass rushers.
Yep.
But why not have I mean, they won a Super Bowl having all of those guys, right? Both times, right? Or in recent memory, whether it was Tuck, OC, Strahan,
Antonio
Paul was on one of those teams.
Pierre Paul.
Yeah. I think there needs to be realistic expectations on this team. And if you draft a quarterback at 3, if you end up finding a quarterback like a free agent or trading for someone or whatever, there's a lot of holes on this team, but you've got some pretty good stopgaps in that QB room now with whether it's Russ or Jameis. Like, right? They could bring you to the playoffs. They could make you 500. I don't know if they're going to save you your job if you're Joe Shane or Dable, but I don't know if it's necessarily the situation to gamble on another QB. I just take best player available.
Hear me out. Some may call me wild after saying this. Some may agree with me. I think they have more. I think Dable and Joe Shane have more than 1 year. I know everybody thinks. So I think they have more than 1 year. I think they definitely have 2 years, and the reason why I think the most clear, unkept secret is their love for Arch Manning and the love for the Manning family. And if you don't think that they're okay with Russ and what's his name, Jameis this year, do not be surprised if they're just okay with that to ride out and see where they get. If they don't make it, whatever, to be in the sweepstakes for Arch Manning next year. They 100% want Arch Manning. There's no doubt in my mind. They want him. They want him.
They're not going to be bad enough next year.
You don't know. You don't know.
They're a bottom team.
Thing.
They're going to have the easier schedule. They have talent on that roster.
Yeah.
There was a bunch of times last year where they were actually in games and pretty good.
Agreed.
But they're just not. They just won't be bad enough next year.
You never know.
I guess you never know.
You never know.
I'll bank on it now.
Especially if they decide to trade back and get different picks that they can use to barter next year.
Maybe.
Don't be surprised.
Maybe
if they are smart, but I'm giving Joe Shane too much credit. So there's that.
I truly wonder though how. I mean, you're in a situation now in year 3 or 4 with this regime. Like they're clearly. I mean, the fact that they survived just hard knocks, let alone like a bad season, where the guy they gave all this money to is on a practice squad somewhere else, and now is in Indy. And Daniel Jones and Saquon goes and has an MVP caliber year and wins a Super Bowl with the rival. The fact that they're still there.
It's a great point.
John Mara, who, forever has been like, one of the stars of the NFL and the star franchise, right? Historic franchise in the NFL, has a bunch of just, black eyes from all of this. Probably that's where I agree with you, Hayes. I think their jobs are probably safe. I just don't know, it makes sense on paper, tank for this guy, tank for that guy. But we've seen, I mean, the Giants went out of their way to win games. Giants have done it. All of these teams, it doesn't seem like they've just blatantly been losing. I just don't know if they look at it that way, even though it's the smart decision in a lot of ways. I mean, are any of these teams in the top 10 going and bottom 10 going anywhere except for the Bears?
Yeah, well, that means Bears are projected to get Tyler Warren, which is a crazy thing to give to Caleb. Phenomenal.
I'd love Tyler Warren
as
a Jets fan at 7, but I guess if I had to pick right now, like on the clock, and I could have anyone that would realistically be there, I would want Tyler Warren. But
I could see the Patriots making some noise in the AFC East.
Sure. Okay, sure. Yeah,
that's the one. But yeah, it's a great point. Like all these
right
teams
there.
are,
especially
all these
Vrabel,
teams are like multi-year rebuilds.
Yep,
that's absolutely. For sure.
So I just don't know, as much as I would want a Manning as my quarterback. And from what I've seen of the kid, and even knowing that Archie didn't want Peyton to go to New York, so he stayed in school, and they got Keyshawn instead. Like, even if the Jets weren't a dumpster fire, I just don't know if teams really think that way, the way that, the aggregators and, we would talk about. Why not just tanking for this guy?
Fair. That's fair.
I guess as a Eagles fan, Harrison, you're a Cardinals fan here. What what first round pick do you want? Who do you want on your team when the dust settles here? Is there someone jumps out, even if it's not on your team, just someone you really like? And
go ahead, Harrison. I'd love to hear who you want the Cardinals to get.
They're all the way at 16, so I really don't know who would be left, but definitely defensive line and offensive line. Those things would be great for my team, my Birds.
Go Birds.
They're very solid at wide receiver. They have a great young tight end. Just a little more protection for my guy would be great. And then defense, we talked about a lot last year. It was turnstile, and just getting some more playmakers out there would be good. So whoever's available there, I would be happy defensively.
That's fair. For me is Malachi Starks, the safety from Georgia.
Yep.
I'd
like him.
Definitely enjoy that. Also, what's the corner from Bama?
Man,
slipping my mind.
Slipping my mind right now.
I'm trying to think about him, but I would really like him as well too. If they can't get the safety, if he goes too high, it's gonna blow. It's bugging me.
Having Howie pick at 32 at the end of night one with the 5th-year option there.
Do not be surprised if he trades that pick.
So fun. Totally.
He 100% would trade that pick to get like 3 second-round picks. Like that's a Howie move just waiting to happen. I'll find out.
Bears have 2 top 41 pick or 39 and 41, something like that. But yeah, no, totally.
But I think that's what. So it would definitely be those two. But then also a sneaky pick for me would be Mason Taylor as tight end for the Eagles if they can get him. That would probably be a 2nd-round pick. I don't think he'll be in the 1st round, but I think he is. I believe, in my opinion, he's the 3rd best tight end coming out in this draft. And I think he's severely underrated. And I think he's absolutely going to make noise. And it probably helps that he has a Hall of Famer as a uncle, the NFL that's, been around and teaching him some things. So, yeah, that would be my really good wish pick for sure.
Not a bad situation there.
No, not at all. Not at all. Especially because Dallas Goedert's probably not going to be with the Eagles for too much longer. So there's that. Also, if there's any Patriots fans listening to this, I don't know what y'all are drinking up there, but y'all can stop with this stupid narrative of thinking that the Eagles are going to trade A.J. Brown to you for whatever reason. I don't know if either of you have seen this, but they have been on their talk radio have been talking about it religiously. And if you think somehow, some way that the numbers don't even add up, but if you just think logically, the guy just won a Super Bowl with the Eagles, you think they're going to just trade him for nothing to reunite him with Vrabel? They better give the whole farm for that.
He might want out. He just got his car stolen.
Yeah, he did just get his car stolen. He got it back though. He got it back.
It's tough out. AJ Brown. Well, during practice.
Yeah, today he was out there. Well, it was actually like 3-something in the morning. Yeah, 3:42 in the morning. His car was stolen. He watched it happen. Apparently on a video, like when he woke up. So this man literally says to whoever stole his car, he said, "I'm gonna give you 2 options." He said, "You can bring it back. There'll be no charges." He said, "If you don't bring it back, that's on you." This man goes and practices, is getting ready for the season, and says, "I told you to return it." He said, "That's on you, my boy." That's all he said. And I laughed. So needless to say, whoever stole his car is locked up now.
What car was it?
I don't know. I'm sure it was very expensive.
Something.
I'm sure it was very expensive.
Probably something nice.
Probably something that you can't even pronounce or don't even want to see.
Losing your, high-end sports car and really not caring.
Well, the crazy thing is,
bring it back. Just bring it back, man. Just bring it back.
In the past 4 years, he's like the third or fourth Eagles player that I know that had his car stolen. And C.J. Gardner-Johnson had his car stolen when he was there the last time. So maybe just put your car in the garage or something like that. I don't know.
Had my car. Yeah, did I tell you that story? I had my car stolen once.
No. What?
I was younger.
What?
It was in Newburgh, and I was playing basketball somewhere, and I give my
the waterfront.
My little stepbrother the keys. He left them down. Car gone afterwards. Like, all right, sick. Don't know what's going on.
Wait, so you got your car jacked?
Yeah,
with the keys just like somewhere.
Someone left the keys. Like he left the keys down somewhere. Someone took the keys. So I go outside, no car, nothing. Call the cops, walk around the corner, there's my car, all my stuff. Like there was nothing in it. Like they took like CDs and other random shit. And I'm like, all right, I mean, if you really wanted a Geo Prism that bad, like,
hey,
like you could ask for it, bro. Like I would have gave it to you. They took it and realized how shitty that thing was.
They were like, yeah, no, we're not gonna get too far with this. Let's just put it back. Let's just put it right back over here.
No. So that was fun.
That's wild. Oh,
yeah. Shout out to the Geo Prism.
Shout out Geo Prism.
Shout out Geo Prism. Let's shout out to the NBA playoffs if we're done with the NFL. I'm sure we'll talk after the first round and whatnot and see what happens because there'll be some very entertaining. We should live stream during that. I'm just saying. Maybe not.
I don't watch drafts.
Okay, so Sam and I will live stream it. Okay. Maybe. Who knows? Sam's got
our
kids.
Dave
That's not happening.
No, NFL draft's like a holiday around here.
Yeah.
I'll be in
I just follow on my phone.
It hasn't been good in 20 years. I still watch every pick.
I'll be in a hotel room, so I'll definitely be watching that for sure.
I've been trying to work with our buddy Dave, who's like the biggest draft person I know, to do something. So we'll see. Maybe we'll do like a recap thing.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm putting him on the spot on a live podcast right now. So
he'll be all right.
I love recapping drafts. Watching them live, I'm just like, all right, where are you going? Where are you going? Where are you going to end up?
Stay tuned for Harrison's 256 pick recap next Monday.
Yeah, we need the Mr. Irrelevant
winners and losers. We're locked in.
Bet. Let's get to some winners and losers so far in the NBA playoffs. So we had the play-in games already. We got round one already in action. Let's just run through what the games are. In the West, you have the 1 seed OKC has a 1-0 lead over the 8 seed Grizzlies. Game 2 is tomorrow, Tuesday, when you hear this today, April 22nd on TNT. We also have the 4 seed.
No one needs to watch that one.
We talked about 51 point lead.
It was rough. It was rough.
Bad, man.
The Lions are going home early. Number 4 seed Nuggets and over the Clippers. There's game 2 is tonight when we're recording. That is April 21st, so that's today for us. The 6 seed T-Wolves have a 1-0 lead over the Lakers. Game 2 is tomorrow, also April 22nd. TNT. The 7 seed Warriors have a 1-0 lead over the 2 seed Rockets. This is what Harrison was talking about. Game 2, Wednesday, April 23rd, TNT for the East. Cavs 1 seed over the Heat, 8 seed. You got game 2, Wednesday, 4 seed over the Bucks. What seed are the Bucks? The 5 seed. They're 1-0. That's Tuesday. The Knicks are 3 seed over the Pistons. They're 1-0. If you haven't seen what was going on outside of the Garden, absolutely nuts. You deserve to watch it and take a moment for that.
Hysteria.
It's wild. The Knicks fans celebrate as if they won
it's so
major
good.
Championship. And it's so good. It really is
incredible.
It's incredible. The 2 seed Celtics over the Magic, and game 2 is on Wednesday, the 23rd. All right, gentlemen. Now that I've said all of that, what has been your thoughts so far? What game or series has stood out for you? Anything you want to talk to? Harrison is smirking, so I might as well just go to you first. What stands out to you? What are you looking forward to the most?
I'll just give you like 2 sentences on each and then we can dive deeper. OKC Grizzlies, you can turn that off. That can go to NBA TV. Nuggets and Clippers. Nuggets versus Clippers. That's going to be an awesome series. It should go 7. Both teams are great, and it's just a clash of styles. T-Wolves at Lakers. Very scared for the Lakers. Warriors at Rockets. The Warriors' demise was greatly overemphasized.
Thank you, Mark.
We kind of forgot that
Playoff
the Rockets can't score. That's also a problem. Cavs over Heat. That can also go to NBA TV. Pacers at Bucks. I need D-Lillard to be back, or this is going to be a short one.
Yep.
Yeah.
Knicks Pistons. That's going to be awesome. That'll be in the same vein as Nuggets and Clippers. And Celtics over Magic. I forgot the Celtics were in the playoffs, and I also forgot the Magic were in the playoffs.
Same.
We'll ignore them again this year.
I watched the Warriors Rockets last night. I know we talked about when the trade happened with Luka and Jimmy, since they happened around the same time. And we're like, who really won and all this? I think we just keep forgetting, and I don't want to say us and put words in your mouth, gentlemen, but I think as a society that watches basketball, keeps forgetting that playoff Jimmy is playoff Jimmy and does what he does when it comes to playoffs. He may be quiet throughout the whole regular season, but there's one thing that he's going to do is he's going to show up during the playoffs. And the fact that he's doing that already, and it's not even peak Jimmy, playoff Jimmy, and Steph is just out here hitting ridiculous fadeaway shots going into the bench. Absolutely nuts. What is probably the most entertaining part about this series is Draymond and Dylan Brooks continuing that rivalry, because it is just two buffoons out here just doing stupid stuff.
And Steven Adams kicked that man in the balls twice.
Let's
not forget that one.
I mean, he just wanted to remind him of what he's done to him in the past. So he's just reminding him there. But Steph is absolutely exhilarating to watch. And yeah, the Warriors are doing them. OKC, Grizzlies.
Oh, we can touch on that one real quick, because that one's going to be the most intriguing to me. Like, the Warriors only scored 95 points too. So, like, the Rockets defense is super athletic. They're uber all over the place. I mean, in the regular season game before this series, they held Steph to 3 points. Like, that's unheard of. So I think they can get back to that, and I think this will be a long series. And the Rockets were, like, really able to break down the Warriors when they went big and played like Steven Adams and Sengun at the same time. So the Warriors are going to have their hands full. And Jalen Green went 3 for 14. Like, that's not going to happen again. So, like, the Rockets are very dangerous. And, like, with the Warriors, you truly are relying on two guys to score 40 points. Like, that's tough. Like, I get playoff Jimmy is playoff Jimmy and Steph is Steph, but, like, one of those guys has an off game, and it's a completely different game. So, you know, we didn't make any picks or anything, and I was kind of leaning Rockets because of their youth and how, like, energetic and athletic they were. But the Warriors definitely showed in game one that experience is, like, really crucial. But this series is not one to be slept on, and it's not going to be an easy one.
You think it's going to go 7?
I hope so.
I think it does.
I think it has the potential to.
Yeah,
I absolutely think it has the potential to. I know a series is not going to go 7. That's OKC and the Grizzlies. That's just not going to do that. Shout out to Ja and his new sneaker, though. It looks really, really dope. It's great because you're going to be able to wear that while you're fishing, because that's exactly what you're going to be doing very, very soon.
Do you still have that friend that's, like, doesn't, like, say defense is played? Because, like, he could just watch the
thing. Where's that dude? What's he doing?
He can just watch, like, he's
watching.
He 100% is still sitting on that hill, believing that, and he probably has not watched a lick of the playoffs. So if you hear this and you know who you are, I tried to tell you about this because defense is real. We don't really need to talk about that one. To Harrison's point, the Clippers Nuggets game. Series, I think that's going to be good. I mean, at one point, James Harden was just going off, if I remember correctly, and
he's had a great year.
He has quietly as well.
Under the radar.
Honestly, I mean, if you've been watching, you know, but it's kind of just been quiet compared to
the whole Clippers team has been under the radar this year. Like they ended the year, I think it was 17-4. They've been probably the second best team in the league heading down this stretch. So. Watch out for the Clips.
I agree. I watched the Cavs Heat game, and the Heat thought they were in it until they weren't. They were kept it close by like 10 points, but I don't think it's going to be that close in the next game. But I mean, Eric Spoelstra's team always plays defense, and they always find a way to keep it close no matter what. I don't want to count Bam out. Bam does what he does.
Cavs are number one seed for a reason. Yep. They have just so much firepower, and they play great defense. They play great together. And then watch out for Ty Jerome. Like, he scored 28 in the first game, and he's going to be kind of a, if you don't know about him, now you know kind of guy.
Yeah. Pacers, Bucks, I agree with you, Harrison. I need Dame to come back ASAP. Especially after the altercation with Mr. Halliburton. I need that to happen. Pascal also involved in that. If you don't know what I'm talking about, take the time to look that up. But yeah, Dame needs to come back very, very quickly. But shout out to our guy, Gary Trent Jr., because he's absolutely been doing his thing out here. What?
No, I was going to bring up, like, so when did this trend start? Like, you see all these altercations, like now on Twitter, you have the whole like verbal play-by-play.
Yes, it silences everything in the back, and you can hear everything they're saying now. Yeah,
it's so clear now. Yes. This was like a year ago or a couple months?
Yes.
Like, where did this come from, and why don't I have this in my life sooner?
I don't know, but I'm very thankful for whoever decided to do this, because now we get to hear all the altercations. Like, oh, that's what they said. Yeah, got it.
Word for word.
Yes,
like exactly.
Yes,
I was like, all right.
It's phenomenal. It's phenomenal. I've heard all the cusses. I think the funniest thing that I've heard so far, it was right before the playoffs started. It was Giannis in some of the words that he used, and who was it that was on the free throw line that said he didn't know?
Cade.
Yeah, there you go.
Cade Cunningham is like,
I didn't know he talked like that. And I was like, that's very entertaining. I was like, I didn't know Giannis talked like that either. I was like, that's cool.
I had no idea Giannis was dropping N-bombs.
No, I did not either. But shout out to Giannis for just being Giannis. Shout out to Joe Mazzulla for not sending out his trainer to pick up Jason Tatum when he was on the ground hurt. Shout out to you for that. Literally telling him no and telling Jason Tatum to get up. That's the only highlight I have for you about that, because I could care less what's going on there.
Why doesn't anyone like Jason Tatum?
I enjoy him, but I just thought that was hilarious. Like, Joe Mazzulla was just like, get up. Just get up. But I do think the Knicks Pistons series is going to be very entertaining. The Pistons got ahead of themselves. They were definitely winning that, but they kind of woke up the beast a little bit there, and I hopefully they learn from that. But I think the series will be really, really good. And I will say it again, when the Knicks are in the playoffs, it's unlike any other team's fan base being in it, because you Knicks fans, I know a lot that are listening are from New York. You Knicks fans are absolutely wild. And the way that you celebrate is always a viral moment. So I'm here for it, no matter what.
I'm also here for it. I love it.
There you go.
Just enjoy the moment. You don't know how many you're getting.
You don't.
Yeah.
That is the NBA playoffs. We'll talk about the Timberwolves and Lakers, because I think that's also a very intriguing series as well too.
Yeah, definitely.
I feel like that could go either way, honestly. There's multiple people on multiple sides that just need to catch heat, and if they do, it's pretty much over. Depending on the game, I mean, you have Luka, LeBron on that side or whatnot. You have obviously Ant Edwards and who are the two best players in it? Nas Reed and who was the other person that went off in the first game? Daniels, right?
Julius Randle did.
Jaden
had a good game.
You said Jaden Daniels?
Jalen Daniels.
Oh, not just a Jaden. I was like, no. Yes.
Did I say Jaden?
No, the McDaniels.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes.
McDaniels.
Hey. So
I watch basketball. Bing bong.
Bing bong. They got
I didn't watch game one,
but yeah,
I watch a lot of Timberwolves.
I love seeing Ant when games matter. And he technically did not matter in that game. I looked up at the screen because I wasn't paying attention, but I looked up at the screen at one point in time and I saw Ant like flexing his foot, and I was like, oh god, what's going on
He got
here?
hurt for a second.
Yeah, but
the T-Wolves shot 21 for 42 from 3.
Okay,
so you're going to win a lot of games like that.
Yeah.
Question marks for the Lakers, their size. Like, you want to be able to take advantage of Rudy Gobert, but this might be a series where he can just kind of sit free and play free safety, and that's probably the best Rudy Gobert.
Yeah.
So that's concerning for the Lakers. The Lakers only had 15 assists the first game, so they got to move the ball more. And, I think Luka was doing a little bit too much Luka one-on-one, and then it kind of just trickled down. But yeah, Lakers got to figure it out because the T-Wolves are not scared and they're not afraid of any team, and they have that experience of going far in the playoffs, they have tough ass players, and if the Lakers don't figure it out quickly, they'll be going home quickly.
I think with the head coach that they have, he's going to obsess over this loss, and I don't think there's any way that they aren't better in the next game, and I feel the same way with Ime Udoka. The Rockets lost that first game, but I guarantee the way that he talks to his players, I guarantee they will be rising to the occasion in the second game. So I think those are two coaches that that are going to be on their team's ass, and you're going to see a different version of them in game 2. So
I think for the Rockets, they have answers though, and they had some answers in that game.
Agreed.
With the Lakers, like, you're just not going to get bigger.
True.
So you better hit some shots.
But if Luka does what I honestly feel is the best part of his game is being able to facilitate the way that he can, I think that changes. When Luka is playing his ISO ball, one-on-one ball, I feel that's a detriment to his own talent. Obviously, we know in certain moments you can absolutely do that, and that's great. But you're at your best, Luka, when you are facilitating, and people have to account for your passing ability because you are phenomenal at that. So if you do that,
they have to account for LeBron too.
Yeah, yes, that's my point.
Even at 40 years old, like he's still out there. So and there's some depth on this team. Clearly not enough size, but there's some shooters, and it should be a good series. But to your point, the Timberwolves, I think with
the
couple wins away from moving on, or the finals last year, right? So we're played some big series at the end there too. So I
think with the Lakers, it's just their guys have to play better. It's not so much on JJ. I don't know. There's not too much schematic things you could do. With the Rockets, it is like schematic things that you can do to give yourself the best chance. So just different problems for both, but it's early in the series. I think they'll both make them long ones.
I'm here for it as well. So,
but before we bounce, I figure we're not going to talk about Celtics and the Magic. But before we anymore,
no.
Sorry, Paolo.
Paolo, great game by him.
Yeah,
and
great
Franz.
game, Paolo. Yep. Always. I finished the Court of Gold.
Oh, so good.
Did we talk about this offline? Did I text you about this?
You said you finished it.
I still haven't finished it. That's why.
Okay. Can I just say, I'm not ruining anything. Obviously, you know what happened, Hayes. But I came off of this as a Knicks fan hating Fournier even more than I previously did.
He's such a supervillain.
He is.
Yeah.
He's happy with that, too.
It was great. Yeah, no, I know.
100%.
And that's fine. No, that was great, man. Must watch for even a casual basketball fan, or you're into the Olympics, on Netflix. It's 6 parts. It was
easy watch.
It was fun. It was a lot of fun, and just kind of you, to your points a couple weeks ago about KD and just perspective on that kind of stuff. It was it was fun to see that, and Wemby, and it was a must watch. It was great.
It gives you a different perspective on why they play. You know what I mean? We have all these narratives of rings, and it's no, these guys are just playing basketball ball. And they love to play ball.
Yeah, love ball.
In order to do this and put your all into these series, and it's a long ass grind, so you better love it. And these dudes love playing ball, and it's cool to see it all come together. So chasing point stamp of approval. 2 out of 3.
Definitely.
2 out of 3 of us so far.
Yeah, I'll be watching.
One of us will finish it.
I'll be watching it soon. Don't worry. I'm also going to watch that Celtics documentary on
Celtics City.
Yeah, I'm curious about that.
I can't bring myself to.
I mean, I don't want to because it's the Celtics, but I'm going to watch it just for the purpose of the podcast, and that's it.
I heard the Red Sox thing was pretty good too.
God.
Yeah, that one I'm gonna skip. So
It's too far.
One too,
yeah, that one I'll just flat out tell you I'm gonna skip. That's not gonna happen.
You watch the Celtics one and tell me.
I'll watch the Celtics one, but the Red Sox is just never gonna happen. So somebody's gonna have to give me some highlights about that. So we'll just transition into baseball here. Sam asked a question. If there's any standouts in the first few weeks of the season, and then he has his power rankings, which he'll go through. So any standouts for me, Cody Bellinger, just looks high all the time. So it's outstanding that he stands out. And for the last 3 years on 420, he's had a home run. Just to let you guys know
high all
that.
The time?
He looks like it.
Just Google Cody Bellinger.
Yep.
Cody Bellinger.
Yep.
Clay was his dad. He looks stoned. Like there's
Stoned
memes
all the time.
from even when he was with the Dodgers years ago.
Oh yeah,
but he spent the last couple of years with the Cubs. He just looks stoned all the time.
That guy's high as a kite.
Yeah. I believe my standout of the first few weeks of the season is the torpedo bat.
We're still doing that.
You know,
that's my standout.
I hate that we missed
that whole thing.
Few weeks of like the biggest sports time of the year.
Yeah,
and that's
March Madness, torpedo bats.
Well, I am so glad we were not talking the week of the torpedo bat because between us and Brendan, I was gonna explode. Like every time I looked at my phone, you guys are talking about torpedo bats. But yeah, hey, there's nothing wrong with it, man. Like just the shift's legal. People move around, optimize where people hit the ball. Well, I know the shift's not entirely legal now. But,
yeah.
Okay. Optimize the bat to where you hit it. Anthony Volpe can't hit the sweet spot of the bat. Okay, move up the sweet spot.
Yeah, I'm not mad at it. It's within the rules.
It's an MIT grad or whoever to figure that out.
MIT, NASA. Yeah.
Good. I mean, hey, it's good for baseball, and I'm glad it's just not a Yankee problem.
It never was. They just wanted to make it
as a Yankee problem.
Well, it's because the Yankees went off the first week of the season, and everybody was like, "Oh my God, the Yankees are using a new bat." And meanwhile, there's several other players that have been using it for months. But
sure. Can we just chalk it up to the Brewers need pitching and just threw out? I mean, aside from Freddie Peralta, threw out some really bad pitchers and. Yeah, the Yankees just took advantage.
And also, I mean, the best hitter on the Yankees doesn't even use one of those bats. So, I mean, there's that. I mean, he's the best hitter in the league per Juan Soto because, he's missing hitting behind him apparently, even though Pete Alonso is doing his thing as well. But
I know it's kind of been the narrative, too, with Aaron Judge this year. And, I was never really on him in October because of just how special of a player he is. And I've always admired Aaron Judge, and clearly he's the best player, arguably one of the best players in baseball on my favorite team. But what he has been able to accomplish lately and staying healthy, it is just so cool to be able to witness that. And I hope we can come out of this thing with a couple rings, but you look at the statistics, you really dive into performance, and it's on Barry Bonds, peak Barry Bonds level performance.
This is what Mike Trout was supposed to be.
Yeah. And Mike Trout before all of those injuries too. I mean, was right there, but just Aaron Judge is more, yes, he leads the league in home runs every year, but just look at he's much more than a home run hitter, man. I've always admired him and liked him, but now I'm just we get to see, we get to watch this every day in person. And it's just a really cool feeling, especially coming, seeing the dynasty years that we saw and the talent that we saw in pinstripes for so long. But it's just, it's just cool to watch. It's cool to see, have a son, Aaron only knows Aaron Judge and will stop what he's doing every time he's hit it. And it's just a cool thing to be able to see that. So that's my, Yankee moment of the day. But wow. I never really admired Aaron Judge until recently, where it's just damn, he's really good. He's just really good. That's it.
Shout out to my guy on the other side of the coast, Fernando Tatis.
I was just about to say,
there we go.
I don't know why I knew we were on the same. I didn't know you were going to say that, but I legit was about to say Fernando Tatis. So thank you for doing that.
Yeah. Batting 358, 8 homers, more than Judge. One more. 16 RBI. First player to reach over 2 wins above replacement, WAR, whatever that that fancy stuff people talk about. But no,
citing WAR.
Look at me.
So proud of you.
Look at me. 16-6 Padres ahead of the Dodgers right now.
Who would have thought?
I don't know. Fun times out in San Diego. Beautiful place. Love San Diego. Unbelievable.
Shout out to the guy that I always seemingly hate on here, Mike Trout. He also has 8 home runs right now to this point. He's doing He's doing really, really well.
He's batting
under 200.
Batting 184.
Yeah. There's that.
He's running a little bit too.
There's that. Also shout out my boy. Sam knows that I really champion this guy, Cal Riley, out here with 9 home runs, leading the MLB in home runs right now. So
yes.
Shout out to him for sure. Another person that I really, really absolutely love. He's got 7 home runs and has been my batting stance, but was replaced this year with a different batting stance. But shout out to James Wood, doing his thing as well too with 7 home runs right now.
Just one Wood.
Yeah.
He was your who's your batting stance now?
Manny Ramirez.
Manny Ramirez.
And he won't watch the Red Sox documentary. Nope. Look at us.
But I love Manny because Manny always wanted to be a Yankee and it just never happened. So
I do love Manny.
Shout out to Manny. Manny just being Manny,
I close my eyes and get nightmares of Manny batting third and Poppy batting fourth and destroying us for a decade.
It was Murder's Row, for sure. Can we also get Trent Grisham some batting gloves? Because I'm tired of seeing him without wearing them, even though he's just raking right now. Apparently,
Jorge, baby.
Yeah. I mean, he's not Jorge, so I can't say anything like that.
Trent Grisham on the paternity leave, right? I think he's on paternity leave
right now.
Yeah, I think he's having his family. He's introducing a new family member.
Well, how about you lead us to these power rankings?
All right, so I did this really quick. This is as of yesterday, and today was Patriot Day in Boston, so they play like ridiculously early. I don't even know who won. I don't know who the Red Sox played.
Okay.
But I'm keeping these standings are as of yesterday. At 5, I have the Mets. They have beat up on a lot of teams that are really bad, but you have to win those games.
Mm-hmm.
I still think their pitching's going to be, trouble. They're starting pitching through, for the year, but Senga looks really good. They're going to get Manaea back and some more Frankie Montas and some more depth there. They have a lot of really nice pitchers in their organization for, coming up in the next couple of years. So that'll be fun to watch. But right now I have them at 5. Honorable mention at 6. I have the Phillies. I just think the Phillies are a better team, even though they're kind of middling right now. I still think it'll figure itself out. I have the Yankees at 4. Could easily make them higher. Just a nice week of baseball. Tough loss on Saturday, but shout out to team just finds ways to win, finds ways to lose, but they're 14-8, so I have the Yankees there at 4. My MVP pick in the NL looks pretty good. Kyle Tucker right now, 14-10 for the Cubs. I have them at 3. I question the pitching. I think that's a common thread here, but this team's really solid. The division's kind of up in the air, like who could take it. And I think the Cubs are positioned really well to make a move at some point and get some depth there in the rotation. You mentioned the Padres, again, kind of came out of nowhere. They're, but this is a really tough division. They play these teams, they play the teams in their division really tough. And, they had the Dodgers number last year. That was a really fun series, division series last year. And I have the Dodgers 1. I mean, they started 8-0. Then they lost a ton of games. They're losing pitchers left and right. That depth is getting questioned. Blake Snell's on the IL. Yeah, I still think they're the best team in baseball, and that kind of just shows you kind of have to play the games. It's not, things aren't just a given. but this team's led well, front office, in the clubhouse. They have living Hall of Famers on their team right now. So I'm not too worried about it, but you got to stay healthy and you got to get to October. So right now the Dodgers at 1. So again, Mets, Yankees, Cubs, Padres, Dodgers. Don't at me.
I like the ranking. One thing you did say though is that the Padres came out of nowhere. I wouldn't say they came out of nowhere. I would. Go ahead.
Okay.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Go ahead.
I didn't mean like nowhere, like like a really bad team. I didn't think the Padres would get off to this good of a start.
Like Cleveland Browns nowhere.
Yeah.
Was
it you or Brendan that were that was potentially? Were you looking at Fernando Tatis?
I think we had a conversation about how we like Fernando Tatis, but since coming back from the suspension and the injuries, he has not put it together. Clearly, he's capable of what he's doing right now, and I'm for it. I've always been a Fernando Tatis guy. But yeah,
I think it was Brendan because I think it was something to do with possibly a league or something like that. I can say it now because I know things are already done and solidified, but
you got him canceled anyway.
That's true. That is true. Brendan doesn't exist
Brendan's
anymore.
Not on anymore because he's in a ditch somewhere because someone beat him up.
I know people were questioning picking up Tatis because of the past issues and injury issues, but when this kid is healthy, he is one of the best players in baseball, and I just love how swaggy he is as well too. I mean, he's good for baseball. I obviously know the past, but people are allowed to get past their past. We're not all the same people we were. We all make mistakes and whatnot. I think he's proven well enough since that point in time that, hey, I can still play without any of that. It was a mistake. I can do it without. I could do it with. I could do whatever. But I absolutely love him. And then, I mean, you got Jackson Merrill there as well, too, which I really, really enjoy how he plays. They just have really, really good and quietly, if you don't pay attention, because he was a big name a few years ago, Manny Machado is out here. Is just still raking,
stealing bases.
Yeah, he's just out there. He's been mic'd up a couple times during his game. He's funny as hell. Listen to him talk. He seems like the team rallies behind him. I think he's one of the team captains, if I'm not correct. I think he is. But just a phenomenal player as well. So yeah, shout out to the Padres.
Yeah, sure. This team underachieved for a while. Especially there's clearly something wrong with Machado, Soto, and Tatis in that clubhouse a couple of years ago. So I mean, and this team's full of like really good shortstops playing other positions. You mentioned Merrill; he's hurt right now, but Bogarts. He just transitioned into a center fielder and would have won Rookie of the Year if it wasn't for the year that Paul Skeens had. And Tatis is a gold platinum glove right fielder, and he was a shortstop not too long ago. I think left field's out. There's still an outfield spot, even with Merrill healthy, that they need to figure out. But I mean, Michael King threw a complete game the other day. There's some talent on this team. They're coached really well, so it'll be fun to watch there. Shout out to the Giants too; they're playing really well. And the Diamondbacks. That whole division's great, except the Rockies.
Rockies are not good. The punching bag.
Yeah, unfortunately, I wish they weren't. I really love the Rockies, but let's do you care? And by let's, I mean Harrison and Sam.
Yeah.
There is a particular person that finally has completed the career Grand Slam. It is, right?
That's correct. Well done. Good job by you.
He'd be a young lad that is sponsored by Nike that was supposed to be Tiger Woods' protege. It has finally risen to the occasion. He did win his first green jacket. He did everything in his power to try to give it away again.
Sure did.
I'd be talking about Rory McIlroy has finally got a green jacket and won the Masters. There's phenomenal shots of it by my favorite baseball player of all time, Ken Griffey Jr., of Rory crying on the green. Gentlemen, take it away. I've said enough.
Shout out Junior Griffey.
Mean, yeah, I shed tears too. I've been on the Rory train for a long time. I got into golf like after Tiger Woods, so I'm you would think I'm the biggest Tiger Woods fan because of
he is. He wears his Sunday red even in the house. Everybody.
I actually don't wear red on the golf course because people are like, oh, you're Tiger Woods. I hate that.
I respect that.
But Rory was been my guy for a long time, and to see him finally crack through and do it. I mean, it's been 17 times at the Masters. I think 12 years ago he was
since
he was in the final group. He was in the final group for the Masters, and he was up by 3 and lost by like 8. So he choked that away. But he's always been super vulnerable. Always had, just very honest press conferences. Always talked about, like imposter syndrome and capturing the moment and, shrinking under pressure and all those type of things that we all go through as humans on a daily basis. So to see him finally do it, and to see like all of his emotions throughout that day, and you could tell like the weight of the world is like on his shoulders, because it's not like a lot of guys, they get a chance and then they kind of just go away. Like he's been in this spotlight and given himself chances over and over and over and over again. And that's what makes it like so heartbreaking. Whereas, you get a guy that maybe gets a chance and then you never hear from him again. Like what's worse, really? You know what I mean? Being that close and getting it, or just like never getting a chance to do it. So it was awesome to see. I mean, the round was the most roller coaster thing I've ever watched in my entire life. Like,
I think,
if you're a golfer, you start with a double and then you get your ship right, and then you're up by 3, and then you make the most inexplicable mistake you could ever imagine. Like if he doesn't make a double on 13 and throw it in the water on one of the easiest shots you could ever hit, it was unbelievable. He's up by 5 and we're cruising, but instead we get to a playoff with Justin Rose of all people, who's a Ryder Cup teammate of his. And it was just amazing cinema. As a, not even just a golf fan, but like as a sports fan, to see him get over the hump, knowing what he's gone throughout the last however many years, it was just super cool. And I'm going to watch it again and again. So, when I have the chance. So the weight of the world, one of my favorite moments in sports is the 18th hole of the Masters, when the leader is in that final group, and you just the gallery just cheering and just explaining to my wife as she's sitting here watching it. No, she knows who Rory is. She doesn't follow golf. She will play every now and then. But the first thing on my mouth was, everyone loves Rory. Like everyone wants this to happen. And especially from a PGA standpoint, where he was the face of the PGA with all of this live stuff. And he took a lot from both sides of it, and kind of felt at the end of the day when kind of all just, right? Like, they merged or whatever happened, the agreement happened, and it's kind of like, oh, well, what now? But he's lost a lot of fans in that stretch too, because of like the polarization of how, it's the left versus right type of thing. Sure. So, no, man, it's really cool. It's really cool. He's going to go on an absolute tear this year. The next 3 majors. So we got Quail Hollow, which he's won at multiple times before. Oakmont, which is no trees in a bomber's paradise, and Rory hits it the furthest of anyone in the world. And then back at Portrush in Northern Ireland, so his hometown. So this year is set up for a really cool year for Rory. And he's a little bit older, but Phil Mickelson won his first major at Rory's age right now. So golf is fun like that. Your peak is much longer.
Thoughts on all the controversy of Rory not talking to Bryson at all? Because do you care? I don't care one bit. I love it. Like,
well, that Tiger's notorious for that.
Yeah,
Tiger would never talk to his opponent in the final round. So, just Bryson being.
Just Bryson. And I'll just say it worked. It seems like Bryson was rattled by it.
He was completely out of it from the start. So
yeah, just stone cold killer, man. Like the Tiger mentality. Like this is my debt. Like this is I'm taking this today. I have no time for you. Like eye on the prize. I loved it. It was great.
Same. Any thoughts, Hayes?
Did you watch?
Not one thought has come to my mind at this point in time. It
was so good, man.
Not one thought.
It was just...
I didn't watch it. I did not watch it at all.
Gotta get you to watch like Full Swing on Netflix or something.
No, I probably won't watch it. If anything, you should probably just save your energy on trying to get me to watch it. But if anything that I do is actually golf this year, which I will, because at our actual company that I work for, they have an indoor golf simulator, so I'm going to actually do that.
Thanks for that.
But I actually do. I'm 100% getting out there this year. I've just got invited to a charity golf thing, and I was just like, I was invited, and I was just like, sure, if you want me to embarrass myself, absolutely, I'll go there and do that. I'm going to hit the ball far. It's not going to be accurate at all, but it's going to be far.
It's the most humbling game, man. And even at the biggest stage, watching Rory like try to handle his nerves, like it's hard as hell to hit a golf shot, that tiny ass ball, however far you want it to go, when you can't feel your hands. It's just really hard.
Yeah, I can't imagine that.
I use that for perspective. I mean, you look at it like all these. I mean, how many notable golfers missed the cut
100%
weeks ago? It's just like, and these are the best in the world, and guys who have green jackets, multiple green jackets, and that's one thing. It's the Masters, but like you could play every day, all day, and still just have bad rounds, and so I don't lose sleep over it. But when you play like tournaments or something like that, you're usually playing like best ball or scramble or something, and you're not always going to carry everything, so you'll be fine.
Sam, I know you've never played sports with or against me, but I'm just going to let you know a little something. I'm competitive as shit, and I don't like losing. So even if it's a charity or something that's supposed to be fun, I don't like losing. So
golf doesn't work that way, my man.
I don't care what it does or doesn't do. The fact that I know that I am not doing well is going to absolutely infuriate me. And also understanding and respecting golf, because I have somebody on here that's a really, really good golfer I've watched him from the beginning to where he is now, and I've heard plenty of people that have gone out there with him and say how talented he is. I know he even gets frustrated, and I know playing sports against him.
Don't talk about me.
I'm not talking about you.
Here's the fun.
A really good golfer, and there will be, and I am not. But there are strokes where it's like, that's like I'll hit the nicest shot of the whole round, and we'll do better than him, who is a scratch golfer and like plays really well. So it's just, and mentally you just have to
100%
be okay.
Here's the fun thing about golf, phase, and what you'll find out is you obviously know how competitive I am as well. Well, it's a sport where you're trying to beat yourself, so that leads to a lot of moments of reflection where you're just trying to be really competitive with yourself. Fair. That it's a great sport in that way, and I'm excited for you to get involved in it, because you will find out some things about yourself and how competitive you really are, and how much you're willing to beat the shit out of yourself.
Well, I do that. I do that every morning at about 5:00 when I lift weights for no reason at ungodly hours. So there's that. But there's one thing I 100% can tell you. I am going to be the swaggiest damn person on that golf course. I can guarantee that shit. Let's move on and finish this out with somebody that is swaggy on ice, that is doing something that is now unheard of, because he's the only one to have this record. And he's doing this, which is so impressive to me, just like golf is so impressive to me, on a thin-ass blade, going at speeds with grown-ass men running into you and fending them off. I'm talking about Alex Ovechkin has now broke the record for most goals ever scored in NHL history, surpassing Wayne Gretzky, who was there. And I want to commend Wayne Gretzky, because we just we have seen the opposite in football and in other sports, basketball as well, when somebody has surpassed a great record that we thought would never be broken, how kind of bitter, some of these older players are. And Wayne Gretzky was so humble watching Alex Ovechkin break his record and being one of the first people to hug him. He was at all the games that he potentially could do that and was there for the ceremony, took all the pictures. So I want to shout him out for being so humble in that moment of watching somebody break a record, of you being the great one and arguably being one of the greatest players ever, passing the torch in such a respectful way. So shout out to Wayne, but also shout out to Ovi, because you've done something nobody else has done, and you can now arguably be considered the greatest hockey player ever.
List, if you were to have a list of just records that aren't going to be broken, asterisk, or if you were to rank them, I think that one would be there, or
for sure,
career points or something like that.
Wayne Gretzky's point record is untouchable.
It's the point, I just said the point record's there, but even just to think, like I have been tuned out of hockey in a general sense, but I didn't think Ovi was that close when it started to get, started to ramp up there. So
I didn't either.
It's cool to see. Yeah, it's just like it kind of just seemed like it happened. I don't know. I haven't.
Yeah,
I think with the Capitals just beating the Rangers out of the playoffs. But I haven't paid that much attention to the Capitals. So.
I think with hockey, just the points record has always been so untouchable, and I think the next closest person is Jaromir Jagr, and he's 1,000 points away. So like. That's how crazy Wayne Gretzky's points record is. The goal scoring record, I didn't even really remember about until they started talking about it. I'm like, oh, wow, he's very close and can actually do this. But it's an amazing achievement. I mean, all of Wayne Gretzky's records, like he's literally nicknamed the Great One.
Yeah, because,
And that is like the perfect nickname because all his records are so far out of reach that it's like he was
playing in the like dead ball baseball era,
Correct.
where like Cy Young has like 510 wins or something like that.
Yeah, it was so different in the 80s, and
one of them, I don't know. It's like, no one's ever getting to 300 wins again, let alone 350, let alone 510. So like, shout out.
That's where Gretzky was at. So to have Ovechkin have this chase, and then. Gretzky's been amazing on TV. He's been, a TV analyst lately for, I think, TNT. So, but to have him at the games and giving him praise, and then to have it happen in New York was really cool against the Islanders and stopping the game and all the tribute videos and have his family come out there. It was awesome. So, cool to live through another great sports moment in history, like one we'll remember. Hockey and golf. Let's go.
Yeah, way to end this. This one.
You get to shout out Paige at the end if you want.
I put Paige on here. Shout out UConn Huskies. Shout out Paige.
Shout out UConn Huskies.
And was the number one pick in the draft.
She was
on Monday. Last Monday.
It's so wild how quickly that happens.
It's just like less than a week, and here you go.
Yeah, their turnaround time is crazy, and then NBA is just like, all right, we'll get to you. NBA like, we'll get there
because the playoffs are like 3 months long in the NBA.
The timeline is wild.
Yeah, but no, shout out to them. Shout out to HBL as well. Shout out to Jalen Suggs. Yep. If you don't know why I'm saying that, you look it up on your own. Just a phenomenal tournament. Paige absolutely went off. It was really, really cool to see her and Gino embrace, and how, the love that he shares for her and the connection that he had and has with her. And there's just that team in general. I'm still really upset that we did not get to see the matchup that I really wanted to see, which was Paige Juju. In the tournament. That's super upsetting because now we're gonna have to wait to see that in the WNBA, which will be fun there. But also shout out to my new favorite WNBA player. Was it Georgia? I can't think of her last name. From Kentucky, 3-point shooter, phenomenal. But she wore a suit made by Russell Westbrook, by the way, which was pretty interesting as well.
Oh.
So shout out to Russ for that.
Brody.
Facts that you guys didn't even need to know, but I just decided to share with you.
I watched the WNBA draft on my birthday. I did not even know that.
Well, there you go. See, little tidbits.
Georgia Amori.
Yep. Yeah. Shout out to her.
We got the female Wembanyama.
Yes,
that's coming in the league.
Yeah. Yes, I can't wait to see her play. Honestly, she's only 19, right?
That's gonna be fun. Yeah,
she's just out here dunking.
Wild.
Out here dunking.
Wild. That's going to be very, very interesting to see. Very interesting.
We may get AZ versus Juju next year, so that's a good one.
That'll be fine. That'll be fine. I think the Sparks are quietly building a powerhouse out there too.
Well, you get Brink back, Kelsey Plum's on the team.
My girl Kelsey. Yep, absolutely.
Yep.
It should be fun. Definitely should be fun. All right, gentlemen. Anything you want to say before we get out of here?
No.
We love you, Paige.
We do.
Shout out to Nico Harrison that didn't realize that the fan base loved Luka so much.
Shout out Nico.
Shout out him.
Shout out to the reporter for asking why are you not fired?
Yes.
What a great question.
Why?
That was just an hour ago.
Governor of the Mavs had that closed door press conference or whatever, but I did not watch it or tune in. So someone asked that question, and what did he say?
I will send it to you. Because
I'll just look it up.
I have it. No, I have it literally right here at the tip of my finger. So it's coming right to you, good sir. But yeah. On that note, everybody, Sam, can you close us out here so you can go watch Nico Harris get embarrassed?
Yeah, this is gonna be good. So for Harrison and Brandon.
Wow.
And
Brendan came back. He uncanceled him.
Yeah, he's back. Sorry. I've been doing that my whole life, calling you Brendan and Brandon.
That's terrible. That's terrible.
Confusing you two because you look and act so much alike.
Would you get out of here, please? I want to go eat.
I gotta put kids to bed. And stuff. But once it was this 167. What are we doing here?
I don't know.
167.
April. What's 167? Yeah, there we go. In the books, baby. Here we go. Draft weekend.
Happy 420 to Cody Bellinger.
There you go, Cody. Rise up.
Wow.
Go Austin Wells. I saw that his food poisoning was not burrito related, so the Instagram account lives on, baby. Here we go.
Yeah, I'm just going to say we're done with this podcast because this has gone so far off the rails. So thank you for listening to Jason Boy's podcast.
New York, go.
We will see you guys.
Go, New York, go.
Goodbye.
Go, New York, go. New York, go.
This just went